I look at the bigger picture. I walk around my hood and take pictures. Pockets bigger, putting on for my hood for these niggas, but they be hating on the nigga. Yeah, yeah, they be hating on the nigga.
Illuminati Vids here, checking in yet again with information for the truth community. Recently, Joe Rogan invites onto his podcast best friend Eddie Bravo. Rogan's podcast, previously named Joe Rogan Questions Everything, has over 1.3 million listeners and covers topics such as science, spirituality, and conspiracy.
I'm trying to corner your ideas because you're saying these things you're very influential. You're saying these things to millions of people.
This invitation turned into nothing more but a 2-on-1 attack on Bravo, criticizing him for asking questions and thinking twice about what he's been taught.
Dinosaurs aren't real, nuclear bombs aren't real, the earth is flat. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Satellites aren't real. It's ridiculous.
Joe Rogan, at one point, genuinely believed in NASA-related hoaxes and fake moon landings. There is ample amounts of evidence online featuring Joe passionately expressing his thoughts and opinions on topics that go against the official narrative.
When I look at all of it, when I look at the photographic evidence, or I look at the fact that we haven't been back since 1972, when I look at the fact that no humans except the Apollo astronauts have ever gone through the Van Allen radiation belt, the fact that no one's even done a flyby around the moon since then, it seems weird to me. When I look at the press conference and I see Buzz Aldrin and Neil Armstrong and Michael Collins nervous and weird and obviously like being deceptive after they came back, I go, what is that? I look at all that stuff. When I look at the photographs and I see intersecting shadows. Now, I'm no photographic expert. I don't know anything about the moon really except stuff that I've read on the internet. I'm no scientist. But when I see intersecting shadows that seem to show some sort of a different light source or more than one light source, it looks odd to me.
You don't think the moon landing is real?
No, I don't. No. Do you?
Yeah.
Why do you think the moon landing is real? Why don't you tell me why?
I saw it on television.
Oh, you're a genius. Oh, beep that. Hit that.
We'll bleep it. We'll bleep it. No, it's okay. We got
That's genius. You saw it on TV? That's awesome. I'm going to show you some CGI. I'm going to show you King Kong. I saw that on TV, too. There's an 80-foot gorilla. He's running around kidnapping white chicks. You should check it out. There's no way people went on the moon. There's no way.
Recently, Rogan has been singing a different tune, and with his popularity, was most definitely ordered to promote mainstream science and space, questioning very little.
Now, you were a moon guy for a while, right? Is that
Yeah,
right?
well, listen, my issues with not believing that people went on the moon, a lot of it had to do with a friend who had an uncle who worked at Rocketdyne. This guy was convinced that there was no way to do it. He was an engineer, and he said they were so far away from doing it that the fact that they did it, and they did it 7 times, but since looking at it, the weight of all the evidence, I reserve the possibility that some things were horseshit based on a lot of photographic evidence that they did fuck with.
Well, here's
like
the thing.
Gemini photos.
Yeah, but here it is. Here it is. If you look at like the fuel that was loaded up into the Saturn V rocket, you can calculate where that fuel could take that rocket. It's to the moon and back. So they're not going to the Piggly Wiggly, right?
Yeah.
In the Saturn V.
No, I'm a retard. Listen, if anybody has any real sense, they would look at it and say, "There's no way that was a hoax. There's no way. There's no way that was a hoax. There's no way. There's no way people went on the moon. There's no way. There's no way people went on the moon. There's no way."
See, honestly, moon landing shit, was it real? Was it not? It was not in the back of my mind.
Yeah, it wasn't in mine, but I forgot that Russell's a moon guy. Look, I've argued with people, and I absolutely don't know. I don't know. I don't believe.
Joe, you were totally down for you were the moon hoax crusader. Something.
No. Listen,
Joe, you were totally down for you were the moon hoax crusader. Something.
No. Listen, man. Here's my issue. My issue is how can I even argue it?
After this obvious change, Rogan began inviting mainstream scientists and well-known gatekeepers onto his show.
Neil Tyson, thank you very much for coming on here, man. This is an honor. This is a blast. I think the universe is going to explode. You are, for sure, the most requested podcast guest ever in the history of this podcast. So
Obviously, those in the truth community would not believe Rogan to be genuine, as he is a celebrity and is in the club. If you know their name or see their face on television, you had better believe that they're working against you 24/7. If anyone has not been made aware yet, Joe Rogan is without a doubt gatekeeping from mainstream science.
When you look at those things and people explore them, they go, oh, I don't think they really killed Kennedy. Are you sure? Why don't you look at this? Look at this stuff. There's a lot of really crazy evidence. When you start thinking that the world is flat, the dinosaurs aren't real, all this nutty shit that you believe, and you just jump into it with, the problem is, it discredits all these other things that you believe that might be real. Because the other things have some validity to them.
You just haven't looked into it, that's all.
Eddie.
I used to say the same
Eddie,
stuff.
you're talking about the Earth being flat. Thousands of scientists have looked into it. You think they're all wrong? That's so insane.
You haven't looked into it.
I have.
No, you have.
Oh my God. You're
Dude, so
coming
what does
at
that
it
make
with
me?
a confirmation bias. Confirmation bias.
A gatekeeper is a public figure or person with popularity, planted into mainstream media with intentions to guide and mislead the slowly waking masses back towards the deception they are trying to protect. Known Shill, Alex Jones, recently did a podcast with Rogan. Jones has been exposed himself as one of the most obvious controlled opposition currently out in plain sight.
Hitler took the guns. Stalin took the guns. Mao took the guns. Fidel Castro took the guns. Hugo Chavez took the guns. And I'm here to tell you, 1776 will commence again if you try to take our firearms.
You mean the Cowboys lost to the Redskins?
All is
Get a
not
rope, Junior! It's got the guy who gives him the gold watch in the Pulp Fiction. What's that guy's name? Which Batman is that? Paul Watson and I are gay lovers. We are gay reptoid space alien lovers. Understand? I'll cut your frickin' head off. You understand, you bitch? We're gonna kill you and your family. Now that little dog's in the backyard. I'd like to chop your head off, bitch. I hope your dad dies in the hospital. Oh, it's so wonderful. Let's chop up some babies.
Gatekeepers are designed to keep waking minds closed in a box, preventing them from discovering greater truths about the fake reality they live in.
I don't like to make a big deal of it, but I go up to the front and pay for their food. And then I start crying because 10 years ago, people were able to buy themselves food. God, these people are so evil. Why can't America wake up and beat them? Donald Trump's not perfect, but he doesn't want to hurt you and your family. Hillary and Obama want to make you poor and pathetic. We have all their white papers. They hate you. They hate prosperity. They hate God. They hate children. And goddamn them to hell. We're going to find the lever to beat these people, and they're going to be beaten. Excuse me. I just get so emotional.
Rogan will have no issue discussing aliens, Bigfoot, and the JFK assassination. But when presented with the idea of a worldwide conspiracy and a lie about the shape of the Earth, Rogan suddenly enters defense mode and questions absolutely nothing at all. It's quite clear which side he is playing for.
Well, when I look at some of them, they look obviously fake. They look cut and cropped. And I'm not saying I know they are. I'm not saying I have any special information. But I'm an open-minded person.
We gotta
Dude, there's no
release that.
pictures
We gotta
of
work.
the Earth from space, man.
What is that? We just looked at one, Eddie. Stop saying that.
It was fake.
You don't know that it's fake. Okay. But you're saying, look, it's a real problem when you
I'm
say
crazy.
something. But don't say that.
I
Just
am.
stop. Just stop and think. Because you're communicating to millions of people. And you're saying something that doesn't make any sense.
It does make sense.
But you don't know anything about imagery. You don't know anything about what. You don't know anything about that.
It looks fake to me.
You're saying
that's a
it looks,
fake ass
but
picture.
you don't have. Come on, Eddie. You're just looking at it with the naked eye. It looks real to everybody else in this room. I think you're
So
coming
what does
at
that
it
make
with
me?
a confirmation bias.
I am somewhat still questioning the sincerity of Eddie Bravo. For a flat earther to appear on a podcast with over 1 million followers, I would have expected better responses and a presentation of the evidence that exists. Irrefutable evidence that is only ever explained away with magical pseudoscience.
You're saying all the shit
Eddie,
you would say.
There's a fundamental problem with the way you approach these things.
No, there's not a problem.
The problem is you
I don't
go
trust
into
shit.
them.
You do.
But it's not that I
don't
trust
have a
shit.
problem.
No, but Eddie, you know I don't trust shit.
I'm having fun with it.
You know I don't.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if
That's
it's
a
flat
bad-
or round. It
that
doesn't
is a-
matter.
that's
I'm
a
having
bad
fun with it.
fallback. You keep saying that. It's a bad fallback because what we're saying is there are conspiracies. The problem is when you think everything is conspiracy, you act as a psyop guy and you fuck people over that want to look at real conspiracies.
My current stance on Bravo is that he is simply playing a role, and soon enough will admit defeat to Rogan after his fellow gatekeeping shills attack him further.